Alright, so this video is going to be about the dash. So I have the original dash from the car, glove box I'm playing with, but you can see nothing really was modified with this original dash. And I didn't want everything to be cut up to put a cool radio, but I gotta have a radio. So I decided to leave this dash completely alone and put a dash overhead. This bracket was something I made out of some 1-inch angle, and then it is another piece here that got the right radius and such that I wanted, so that my radio would fit up there. So I had to make sure a full-size single-din radio would fit underneath the little angle and still above and not hit the front of the car, and I had to make sure it all would fit. So knowing a full-size single-din radio would work, I got excited because now I don't have to ruin my dash. But somehow I got to make this all work. So when you have a thought, an idea in steel, the first thing you do is play craft. So this is the craft day that I had. You can see these still pictures because I didn't take any video. And I took some of this paper and I stretched it up there, made it kind of look pretty good, and said put it on some steel and then cut it all up. So this little piece here, I'm going to bend it down. That's why you can see the little slit in here. And I'm going to bend the whole thing down. But just so you can see, I cut that piece of metal out and I bent it. And I'm balancing it with one hand, but that is my overhead dash. So it's one piece, well, starts as one piece, but yeah, ignore the bad video quality, but now you can see the dash. And then I can let go of the dash because I put 2 screws in it. So now you have this big shiny thing, and my kid loves to get in the way in his pajamas, but you know, fun to have the kids help. So I don't have to cut my radio out of the dash because it'll go up here. Now there are some issues with the first thing I cut, which is fine. I understand I wasn't perfect when I did all of this. Like right here is a gap. I gotta somehow figure that out. I gotta figure out how to make it screw up better. And I gotta get it all to look more than just a bent piece of steel. And so with that in place, you know, I'm super excited. I think it's going to look cool. I hope so. I welded onto the roof of the car, which apparently to every hot rod guy is a don't do that. So now I just got to figure out stuff like this. How do I get it clear across? How do I make this all flow? And yeah. So that's the kind of questions I got. So I messed with this stuff for hours and hours. Look at my hands going crazy trying to think it all through. So the solutions that I'd come up with were like, what if I built a large wooden badger? You know, stuff like that. But it never ever works. But overall, the dash is up. My other dash will be here. And this is what the radio will kind of sit and look like right about there. So I can put some gauges along the side. So like, don't have to cut up my dash for any gauges that I don't want. Because I have excess gauges. But in order to make it sit up there better, I built this piece. So this piece will go up in the ceiling, and then I can screw to it. And so with that piece in place, yeah, you know, that's kind of where I made the templates. Nothing's perfect, but it's close. And then you can see different spots. Like at that end, I had to add a section, and that made it a little better and cleaner. But now the piece is a little bit straighter and it's looking good. It looks funkadoodly, but it matches the roof of the car, and it's a lot of work. But that's a bent piece of steel ready to go up in the ceiling. So with that, put it back up here. Oh no, that's the trim. I'm sorry. That's the trim. Horrible video, but you can see that front piece trim that I showed you. That goes right there. It's welded in there, but you can't see it. I tried to twist the camera. You know, 3-year-old footage, you don't get to go back. It's what you got, it's what you got. So at least you can see the lip sticks out. That's the main thing. So now back to the dash, the radio side. You got the radio there. And this is the piece I bubbled up and made look kind of cool. And I tacked it all on there so you can see. And then as I've tacked it, you got to do the Fitzy's custom cut and butt technique that he always did, and I watch that all the time. So Fitzy, you got me as a hooks watcher, subscriber doodle. And yeah, so this is me in my fancy outfit, cool hat, grinding away a hole for the radio. I didn't know I was being videoed apparently. And this is me trying to fit the radio and having to grind just a little bit more. But you can kind of get the idea that it's going in, but it didn't fit. So a little bit more. Now look at that. So I ground and cut and butt everything, and yeah, I think it turned out pretty cool to me. Radio now fits. Everything's looking pretty dang good. I'm super excited. I mean, you can put this little piece on here and it hides any mistakes I did make, and voila. So with that, now you gotta make sure it all looks cool up in the car, right? I'm so sorry the shaky camera, but like I said, gauges can go along here. And oh, I can't wait, because I have exhaust temperature, boost, and tachometer that I put up top. So now you can see the radio. Yep, it looks way cool. All the shiny ground metal up on the ceiling, sitting up with a screw, holding steady. I mean, I just like it. It's been pretty nice so far to see it done, and I just like it. So I hope you guys like this dash, because now I primed it and I put the gauges in. So yep, you can see the exhaust, the tack, and the boost pressure. So, and then the radio. No, that's not the real radio I put in, because I just had a sample piece of junk I used to have. So with that being said, this is about how it sat for a year or so, because I didn't want to paint it and then scratch everything. And so yeah, that's my car's upper dash. And I'm not going to show you everything with the dashes that I did, but I will come back to this subject later. This is the dash that was in the car, right? You see all the chrome, all the stuff. And I took good pictures of it. You could see it had like a film on it, almost like a wood grain look to it, which is, you can see it in there, a little glossy, weird. And so I went to my favorite tool called a stripper. See the grinder with a stripper pad? And I'm going to become a stripper again, and I stripped the dash for you. Voila, so much faster by camera, by the way. So I stripped the dash, and now it's just basically bare metal. Nice, clean, easy to work with metal dash. And once I get it all stripped, the next step would be keep it from rusting. So once again, I prime it with that rust inhibiting primer, get it all set and ready and prepped. And like I said, you don't get to see everything in this video, but you can at least see that I've done a lot of the work to get it ready to go. And I took it apart so I could send my chrome off to be chromed at a chrome shop. Chrome shopping chroming stuff. But I'll give you a little sneak peek of it painted. You can see right there, it's bright red, all red, looking beautiful. And that's it for this video. Hope you enjoyed. See you on the next one.